Hey everybody, what's up? And welcome to another Sims 4 house building video. I am so excited to finally be bringing this house to you guys. This one has been the bane of my existence. If you saw my last video, you know how much of a struggle this house was. I'm going to give you a very condensed version of the story that I told in my last video because I rambled for far too long on the struggles I had with this build. Basically, what happened was I had built the entire house. I spent a full maybe 11 or 12 hours on it. I think I had almost 12 hours of footage in the end. I put a lot of effort into it, and that's just what I recorded. There was stuff that I did off screen that I wasn't intending on including in the video. My initial plan was to split this into maybe a 2 or 3 part series because there was so much footage. Basically, to cut a long story short, I lost maybe a third of the footage. I don't know where it went. I'm presuming there was a problem with my computer's storage. My computer is very low on storage at the moment. I basically just spent the last 4 hours before recording this trying to clear up storage on my computer. But I'm presuming it was something along those lines. The storage wasn't there to hold the footage. So as I was recording the rest of the build, it was deleting the old footage, if that makes sense, or kind of replacing it. I don't know if that's how it works. That's what I'm guessing, and that's what I'm telling myself because I don't want to tell myself that I was stupid enough to actually delete the footage, which is also a very highly likely possibility. But basically, when that happened, I rage quit the game. Once I discovered that I didn't have the footage, I was so frustrated. After putting so much work into this house, I was just like, nope, I'm done. I need a break. My initial plan was to have this go out for Halloween. It is now December the 8th, 9th maybe. So that didn't happen, but I really want to put this up anyway because I worked so hard on this build. What you are watching right now is footage that I went back and re-recorded. I basically saved the original build. I had the original build. That was never the issue. The issue was the footage. So I saved the original build, took a bunch of screenshots of the build, and I basically went back in on a blank lot and I rebuilt the skeleton of the house, the entire exterior. I didn't really do the landscaping because I wasn't bothered, to be honest. So I'm not sure if I actually even included that footage in this, but essentially all I was trying to do was replace the footage that I had lost, or the vast majority of it. But what I did was a very rushed version of it. So what you are watching right now is a very rushed version of me building the house again, because as you can see, I'm not sure what part of the video you're at because I'm recording this audio in a different room away from my computer just for sound reasons. There's a huge echo in my bedroom, so I can't really do it in there. If you are watching the exterior of the house at the moment, you might see that there are shelves on the outside of this house. There's different wall details. There's kind of overlapping of windows and doors and lots of stuff that I did that I was trying to very speedily recreate in The Sims because I spent far too long doing it the first time, and then it bit me in the ass anyway, so I didn't want to spend all that time again and then lose the footage somehow. I don't know. But when it comes to the interior of the house, that is all the original video. Everything that you see from the inside is all the original footage that I recorded. For some reason, that didn't delete, thank God, because I would have cried and rage quit the game forever. But yes, so basically the entire exterior of the house is me rebuilding it. If I didn't explain this, you probably wouldn't even notice because it does look pretty similar. But the original house that will be uploaded to the gallery is just neater. Everything is just laid out a little bit better because I was obviously rushing recreating it. But to cut a long story short, I have rambled about this enough. I rambled for about 10 minutes in my last video. I am now rambling for almost 5 minutes of this video on everything that I did wrong. But from this point forward, I am only talking about how much I love this house. I really do love this house. This one is one of those houses that I think everyone and their mother has built in The Sims. Everyone has attempted to build it. I've attempted to build it. We have all done this one 100 times over. And I think it's because it's such an iconic house. But it was a lot of fun to build. It was one that I actually wanted to do as one of my very first videos on this channel back about 2 years ago now. But I never did it because we didn't have curved walls in The Sims. And that feature on the front of the house where those windows are on that curved portion, I basically thought that I wouldn't be able to do the house justice in doing it with like diagonal walls or trying to like cheat it with platforms and foundations and stuff like that. So I am finally doing it. And I think it turned out really good. I am so happy with how this came out. I know I say that in every video, but honestly, I wouldn't post the houses if I didn't think that they turned out good, because I am trying to put my best foot forward on here. But this one in particular, I think because of the amount of time that I put into it, the amount of struggle that I went through with this one, I'm just so proud of this one. And I really hope you guys like this. If you're unfamiliar with this house, it is from season 1 of American Horror Story. I think it originally came out in 2010, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a bit later. It's a show that I used to be a huge fan of. I used to watch it religiously. I think I jumped in on the show right when season 2 was airing. Then I went back and watched season 1. And it's kind of an anthology series. Anthology, is that the right word? I think that's an anthology series. Basically, when the actors play different characters in every season, but they're all the same actors, same cast, just playing different characters in different themes and different styles. And really good show. Kind of fell off it. I haven't really watched since maybe season 4 or 5. I think it's up to like season 11 or 12 now. But season 1 in particular is just, oh, it's so good. I would really highly recommend it. It is a horror TV show. It is Ryan Murphy, who, weirdly enough, also directed and created Glee. Actually, I don't know if he directed, but he definitely created Glee. He has the weirdest career ever. Like, going from Glee to American Horror Stories to... American Horror Story. Yeah, just Story. Sorry. Glee, American Horror Story, Scream Queens, if you know what that is. I love you. You are amazing. That show is peak television. So stupid, but so good. Maybe hasn't aged well, but when it came out, I remember thinking it was funny, but maybe looking back, it's not that appropriate. And what else did he do? Freaking Jeffrey Dahmer, that Netflix show that blew up and took over the planet. He also did that. He just has the weirdest career. But basically, I'm rambling again. I'm so sorry. But this house is from American Horror Story Season 1. It is a real-life house. As far as I know, the exterior is a real thing. You can go see it in California. I think it's near LA. I think. I'm really not sure. I live in the UK and I'm from Ireland. I've never been outside these two countries. So I have no idea where it is, but I've heard it's in Los Angeles. But Los Angeles is a huge place, so I have no idea where it is. But it is a really cool house. When I said I don't know if it really exists, it does exist. The exterior definitely exists. Definitely a real house, but I don't know if what they show on the TV show is what it's like in real life. I don't know if they were new sets built elsewhere or if the house was kind of got renovated for the show. I'm really not sure. But it is truly a really beautiful house, and it kind of instantly became one of the most recognizable houses on television, even in movies. It's one of those houses now that people so closely associate with American Horror Story. I think it's appeared in a few other things, maybe not since American Horror Story, because that kind of defined it as the American Horror Story house. But I think before that, it might have appeared in other films and TV shows. Not really sure. Could be talking out of my ass here, but anyway. This house just seemed so perfect for my channel. If you're new here, by the way, my name is Jack. I really like building in The Sims, and I love to build houses from TV shows, movies, what else? Video games? I don't know. I've never done that, but I would do that. If you have any recommendations, let me know. But I love to build things from TV shows, movies, put all of my effort into getting references and screenshots and floor plans and try make them as accurate as possible in The Sims, with The Sims restrictions. So I don't really use the tool mod. I don't really use any custom content. Not for these videos anyway. Sometimes I use custom content in my own gameplay, but for my YouTube channel, I like to build houses as accurately as I can with what EA has given us. So again, this one just felt like a bit of a no-brainer, and I am so happy with it. I'm just so excited about this one. I do really hope you guys like this one. This video is going to be insanely long, by the way. A lot of my videos aren't this long. A lot of them usually come in around maybe 15 to 25 minutes. 25 minutes is usually a long video for me. but I haven't fully finished editing the footage. But as it stands, this video is at 45 minutes. I presume I'm going to cut out more of that. It might come in around the 35-minute mark, but my God, it is a lot of work. But I'm just really excited about this one. I think I'm getting my mojo back again. I had like 2 months of a mental breakdown where I just didn't want to touch The Sims. I didn't want to build any houses, and I just got back into it. I just posted my last video a couple of days ago, and it kind of like reignited that spark that I had for posting. So I'm just very excited about this one, and I have a couple more videos planned that I'm hoping, I'm not making any promises here because whenever I do that, everything goes wrong. But I am hoping, fingers crossed, that my next couple of videos will come out fairly consistently over the next couple of weeks. I have 2 Christmas-themed builds coming, maybe 3. But again, I'm not making any empty promises here because all of my promises lately have been empty. So I'm just very gently saying that I might have 3 builds coming after this one. Hopefully. I will actually, do you know what? I will tell you what they are, because I feel like when I say what they are, it kind of cements in my brain, okay, you have to do this now. The first one that I'm building at the moment is from the movie The Holiday. One of my favorite Christmas movies ever. It is so stupid. It's Cameron Diaz and, oh my God, the lady from Titanic. What is her name? Kate Winslet? Is it Kate Winslet? Maybe it's not Kate Winslet. Am I confused? I think it's Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet, and they swap houses in this weird Christmas movie. One goes to LA, one comes to England, and the English house in that is just so cute. It's like a little country cottage, and I'm very excited to build it. Don't know how easy it will be to build in The Sims, because it's kind of an old house, not very square, if that makes sense. Everything in The Sims is on straight lines, so it might be a difficult one, but that will be the first one that's coming, I think. Fingers crossed. After that, I am planning on having the house from Home Alone, the first Home Alone. I'm not really a Christmas movie fan. I say as I'm listing out movies that I love to watch at Christmas, but basically the only 3 Christmas movies I like are The Holiday, and I like that even though it's not really a Christmas movie. It's more of like a wintry movie. Don't really associate it with Christmas. I love Home Alone because it's just such a classic, and I love the Disney animated Scrooge with Jim Carrey. They're the only Christmas movies I like. Other than that, the only Christmas movies that I watch aren't actually Christmas movies. They're just things that me and my family watch every year. So for instance, like The Wizard of Oz or The Sound of Music, we just seem to watch those every year. Or Harry Potter. They're all kind of Christmas movies in my brain, even though they're not Christmassy. Harry Potter is a little bit, but the other ones aren't at all. But for some reason, they're just Christmas in my mind. Where was I going with this? That was such a ramble. I'm so sorry. The houses. Yes. Oh my God. So the house from The Holiday, then the Home Alone house, and the third one is going to be Hagrid's Hut from Harry Potter, because again, for some reason in my brain, that's a Christmas movie. And I just love Hagrid's Hut. I think it's so cute. And I actually built it this time last year, and I intended on making that my Christmas video, and it just didn't happen. I recorded it, fully edited it, did the voiceover, everything. I just never uploaded it, and I don't know why. And it wouldn't make sense to upload it now because the voiceover would be really outdated, and I don't have the original file to go back in and edit it. So I'm just going to rebuild the house. I also don't have the house saved, so I'd have to rebuild it anyway. But I think that's what I'm going to do, and I am very excited about it because it is a really fun one to build. I remember enjoying building it so much. It was kind of an easy one to build. As far as I can remember, it came together pretty quickly. But I do remember I built it on that tiny lot in Windenburg? The Get Together World. I think that's Windenburg. And I remember building it on the 20 by 20 lot on the island. Or is it 15 by 15? It was a really small lot, but this time around I'll definitely build it on a bigger one. Just because I remember running out of space. I couldn't really include his like pumpkin patch and all that stuff. But hopefully this time I will be able to include all of that, make it nice and Christmassy, and I'm just very excited. Very, very excited. I'm in such a Christmas mood this year. I don't know what it is about this year. I don't know if it's because of COVID. We're kind of at the other end of it now. I don't know if it's because I'm just more excited. I don't know why, but this year I'm just absolutely buzzing for Christmas. So I moved to the UK almost a year and a half ago now. Um, I live in London, and home for me is back in Galway in Ireland, and all of my family are there. In particular, my two gorgeous nephews, and I'm just so excited to go home and see them. Um, I don't know why, it's just feeling so Christmassy this year. I've been like counting down the days to Christmas for the last 2 months nearly. Um, I think it's just the last two Christmases were really weird. Um, so last Christmas was my first year having moved away from home. So there was just so many things going on in my life that I didn't really have time to look forward to Christmas, if that makes sense. I still went home. Don't get me wrong, I'll always go home for Christmas, but I am lucky enough to be able to go home for Christmas. But last year I just didn't enjoy the build up to it, if that makes sense, because I was just getting used to a new city, a new job, new friends, everything. And the year before that was COVID. And unfortunately, my sister couldn't spend Christmas with us 2 years ago because of COVID. And I feel like this might be the first year in a couple of years for a lot of people who are going to have kind of a quote unquote normal Christmas, or whatever you celebrate this holiday season. If you celebrate nothing, I just hope you have a wonderful December and New Year. But I'm just very excited about it. I'm rambling again. I think I've just rambled for about 3 minutes about how much I'm looking forward to Christmas. So if you're watching this in like March, I apologize. This is a very outdated voiceover. Anyway, enough about Christmas and the holiday season. I'm trying to think of other things that I want to talk about in this video, because I'm currently 17 minutes in and I want to get to at least 27 minutes. Because usually what I do is I talk for as long as I think I need to, and then I kind of end the audio and I just play out the rest of the video with music. But for this one, it's a long ass video, so I'm trying to get to like maybe 2/3 of the way through and then I can play it out with music. But I am running out of things to talk about, to be honest. Maybe I should talk a little bit about the house. That might be why you're here. Not just to listen to me ramble about my life, but this house is massive. It is 3 floors. I was originally planning on making it 4, but I don't think I actually ended up including the basement, just because it was a lot of work. But this house is 3 floors. It has, I think, off the top of my head, 5 bedrooms and maybe 6 or 7 bathrooms. It is a really, really big house. Also, there is kind of in the attic space, there's more rooms that could definitely be converted into more bedrooms, more bathrooms. I'd say you could easily get maybe like 9 or 10 bedrooms out of this house. It is huge. There is also kind of a shed out the back. Not a shed, it's like a big stone building with the arches, and there's like sliding doors that I put in. You could definitely turn that into kind of a studio, but I did leave it empty. You could even turn it into like another kind of mini house, kind of a granny flat. I don't know what you call that where you're watching from, but here we would call that a granny flat. It's like another little house that has like a little kitchenette, bathroom, bedroom, living area. But you could definitely renovate it that way. But I decided to leave it empty because there was just so much to do in this house that adding another bedroom or another house or whatever on top of it, I was not prepared to do. But this house, I definitely think you could download and renovate it if you wanted to. If you do want to, my gallery ID is in the description of this video, and if I remember, I will leave a comment and pin that as well, because I know a lot of people don't always check the comment section, the description. So I get quite a few comments of people asking where to download it or if it's available to download, so I will pin a comment as well if I remember. Again, I will say that again if I remember, because I have the head of a sieve, but I will do my best. But yeah, this house is huge. It is just massive. I don't know if it's the best one to actually play in unless you have a really good computer. I'm lucky enough to have a good computer because when I was in college, I invested in one because I was studying to be a graphic designer and a video editor. So I needed a big, bulky computer that could handle a lot. And just kind of a byproduct of that was that it runs The Sims really well. thankfully. But even my computer struggled with this lot. There's a lot on it. But if you do download it, I do think it would be pretty fun. I think you could kind of recreate the kind of spooky atmosphere of the show. You could have like paranormal Sims live here. You could have regular Sims live here, turn it into a celebrity mansion, turn it into different apartments, do whatever you want with it. I just think it's such a cool house. I just love this house. It's so cool. My favorite room ends up being the kitchen. I don't really know why. I usually don't like kitchens that are built in this style. It's very traditional. I think the house is kind of Georgian. I could be wrong. Don't take my word as law. But I think it's Georgian. And the kitchen, I don't know why, but I just really like it. I think it's the layout of it. Also, the layout of this house apparently is accurate to the show. I found a PDF online where someone had gathered together all of the floor plans for each floor. So I don't know how accurate they are to real life, but I think that these are recreations or kind of guidelines of how the show was laid out. So I tried to get it as accurate as possible, but again, whenever you are translating something from real life into The Sims, it never really works out well. Also, nothing is like laid out on paper in squares, and that's all The Sims is. Everything is squares, everything is just a grid. So it's not 100% accurate, but my God, whoever created that PDF with the floor plans saved my life. Because I was trying to go back through clips on YouTube of the actual show, and I'd be looking at the kitchen, and I'd be trying to look through the door, like past all the characters acting in the scene, and I'd be looking through the kitchen door like, is that the dining room or is that the living room? And I'd be trying to map out the house in my head. So having those floor plans actually compiled together into a PDF for me trying to build this was just, oh, whoever that was, thank you. You made my life so much easier. Whenever there's any kind of a floor plan, it just makes things so much easier. I think the only other house that I've done that had like a very legit floor plan was the Call Me By Your Name house. Everything else was kind of me trying to map it out. Oh, and the Simpsons house, but that was kind of an easy one. Not easy in the sense that it came together very easy, but it's an easy one to map out. You can kind of figure out where everything is just from watching the show. But yeah, usually that's the hardest part of building, is trying to figure out the initial shape of the house, which is also part of the reason why I am dreading building the Home Alone house. But I've said it now, so I have to do it at some point or another. Whether it's before Christmas or not, I don't know yet, but that is my intention. Hopefully I will have that before Christmas, because it would be a bit pointless to post a Home Alone house in like May. That just wouldn't really make sense. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have that done soon. As well as the house from The Holiday and from Harry Potter. But again, don't take my word as law, because I am full of empty promises. So don't hold me to that. Or maybe do hold me to that. Maybe then I will actually follow through on it. Random side note, if you can hear banging, my upstairs neighbours are from hell. So if you hear banging, that's what that is. It's them running around for whatever reason. I think they have a dog. We're not meant to have dogs in this building, but I think that's what I'm hearing. But that was a weird side note. Back to builds, my future videos. If you have any suggestions, if you have any ideas, if there's any house that you really want to see depicted in The Sims, please leave a comment. Let me know, and I will do my best to try them out. People have commented and made suggestions before. Sometimes the houses that they are suggesting I'm not really familiar with, and when I go away and try to like research them, I'm kind of looking at it from a very outside perspective. But I do try to build them, but if it's not coming together very quickly, I do have to kind of let it go and try something else. So usually what I try to do is build from something that I have seen, a house that I'm more familiar with. But with that being said, if you do have suggestions, do let me know. If I do like the house, if I am familiar with the house, whatever, I will definitely give it a go. There's lots of houses that I really want to try building. There's lots that I've talked about on this channel that I've attempted and I want to reattempt, because at the time we didn't have objects, or at the time there wasn't X, Y, and Z reason for why I would be able to build it accurately in The Sims. Like, for instance, I've talked about building the house from Parasite. I've talked about the houses from The Conjuring 1 and 2. What else? There's definitely more. I just had to pause this and think about it for a while, but there was one that I was trying to think of and it was really annoying me. The Addams Family house. That is another one that I really wanted to build, and I was actually planning on building for the new Wednesday TV show when that started airing. But unfortunately, that was mid-breakdown of the American Horror Story gate. So I didn't end up doing that, but that is still on my radar. I would love to build the Addams Family house, maybe from the original movie, from the original TV show, or from the Addams Family Values. I think that was the name of the movie that came out in the early 90s. The one with Christina Ricci. But I would absolutely love to build that house. It is so cool. I grew up on the Addams Family. I don't actually know why I haven't built it yet. It's such an iconic house. I think that is part of the reason why I don't lean into the really iconic ones, because they are daunting. They're really hard to build because everyone has such an idea of what they look like. Like this one, the American Horror Story house, like the Simpsons house, the Addams Family house, the Parasite house. They've all become very iconic buildings. So they're a bit daunting to build. So if I'm going to build them, I want them to be as accurate as possible. But they are the ones that are currently on my radar. So keep an eye out for those. Hopefully they will come sometime soon. But again, they are a big undertaking. But I would love to build them because I do think they're really cool. But like I said, if you have any ideas, please let me know. I'm always looking for new inspiration. Also, just wanted to touch on this again very, very quickly because I have talked about it a couple of times in my last couple of videos. There is a series that I really want to do where I renovate like Willow Creek or San Myshuno or whatever. Essentially, I would be rebuilding all of EA builds, filling the empty lots, and renovating and recreating or making new Sims to live in the world. And then I would share the save file, and it would kind of be an easy series that I could put in between all of my quote-unquote houses from TV show and movie builds. Just because they're easier to churn out when I'm creating them on the spot. I don't have to do a lot of research into them. But that series is on pause for the time being. I'm hoping in the new year I will revisit it and I will give it full swing. But for now, it's just a bit too much of an undertaking. But I just wanted to address that because I know I have talked about it a couple of times. And I was hoping that it would come out earlier this year in the last couple of months. But again, the American Horror Story accident happened. So everything has just been on the back burner, and now I'm running out of time in 2022, which is insane. We're almost in 2023. I cannot believe that. I feel like we're still in 2021, let alone 2022. Never mind 2023. It's so insane. I cannot get over it, but life moves on. We get on with it. But I'm very excited for my channel in 2023. I'm hoping that there is lots of videos coming. I'm hoping that I will have more time to invest into a lot of things. I'm just very excited for the year ahead. And if you like this video, if you like the sound of what's coming up next, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, a comment, all that good stuff. Check out the gallery for all of my builds, download them, share them, do all that good stuff, everything that you want to do with them, destroy them, renovate them, play in them, whatever. But I just really hope that you enjoyed this. I really hope you're liking my videos at the moment, and I hope you're excited for what's to come. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap up there because I'm at the 30-minute mark, which is insane for me. I never, ever record this long for audios. But I'm just very excited about it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, like I said. And I hope you're excited for the next one. And I will see you guys then. Thank you so much again for watching and have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.